Well, this here is India's most underrated crossover car. This is the Honda WRV. It's the 2020 version of the car. And essentially, what you get new on this car in terms of looks is the new headlamps. You of course get projector lamps in them now, and they really look very stylish and very muscular. You also get a new bumper up ahead, and of course a new grille, which gives it a more prominent look on the road. Now this car also gets a new engine. It's not a new engine, but it's an updated engine. It's a BS6 compliant diesel that we're driving today. And today I'll review this car for you and tell you whether you should keep it in your shortlist if you're in the market for a compact crossover. So let's find out the answer to that question in today's video. Well, so talking about the boot on the Honda WRV, as you can see, it's a nice and spacious boot, and it's at par with its other rivals. It's not too far away from any of them. In terms of the loading area, there's a bit of a sill, but it's not too much, so you can easily forgive it. Overall, in terms of the compact dimensions of this car, it's a respectable boot, and I'll give it a strong score of 8 out of 10. Well, so I'm in the back seat now of the WRV, and as always, I've adjusted the front seat for my height and driving position. My height for reference is 5'10", so if you're about 5'10", 5'11", even if you're about 6 feet, you should be quite okay in these seats. Now the seats have been raised in the front, so you can easily stretch your legs, and you also get good amounts of space in terms of the headroom over here. Overall, it's a very impressive place considering this car's overall compact dimensions on the outside. It's also nice in terms of the width, so 3 occupants should not be an issue. You don't get AC vents at the back, which is a big negative, and you still don't get any charging points, which is also a bit of a negative. But because the seats are so comfortable, there's so much space, those are things you can easily forgive. Overall, let's give this car's back seat a decent score of 8.5 out of 10 because it is a spacious and very comfortable place to be in. I'm sure by now all of you are aware that Woodmore are the online expert when it comes to spare parts, and the best point is that they have the spare parts for all vehicles available in India. So even if your car is out of production now, maybe you have a large generation model, even then they have the spare part available. They have the entire catalog, and the best point is that they have the same spare part from a host of different component makers, which gives you great flexibility in the pricing overall. So check them out today. Check out the app. It's available both for iOS as well as Android devices, and also check out the website for the latest schemes as well as offers. So talking about the Honda WRV, as you can see, this car has a sunroof, and this is one of the most affordable cars which comes with a sunroof, so that's something which is very unique. Talking about the other features, you get cruise control, but you don't get automatic headlamps and stuff like that. But of course you get a couple of charging points, 2 USBs and one 12-volt charging point here. Another 12-volt charging point is hidden away nicely in this arm box over here, in this elbow box rather, so you can keep a couple of beverages here as well, maybe 3 or 4 Diet Coke cans. And the door bins are large enough to house those big 1 liter bottles, but the best place to keep those bottles is right over here on the right side in front of the AC vent, because it helps keep the bottle cool. And right now in these bad and hard times of the coronavirus, when you're going on the highway and you don't want to stop for a break to buy some water or maybe for a lunch break, this is a good idea because it keeps your water chilled on those longest of long journeys. In terms of the design, it's the same design which you've seen for the last 3-4 years now, and this one is the same one which the earlier City had and also the Jazz has, so there's no changes on that. You get the same touch panel for the AC. Some people like it, some people don't. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Now some people like it because it looks funky, but some people don't like it because it's a fingerprint magnet. So what is your opinion about this touchscreen for the AC or the touch panel for the AC? You can let me know in the comment section. But in terms of seat comfort, the seats are quite good and decent. Overall support is good. And it's a black and dark cabin, but that's quite okay because it does feel nice and airy thanks to this sunroof. Overall, in terms of quality, it's at par with its rivals like the Vitara Brezza and the EcoSport, but it's slightly behind the Venue and the new Sonnet. But overall, a nice place to be, and I'll give it a respectable score of 8 out of 10. Well, so here I am driving the Honda WRV now. Now remember, this car comes with 2 engine options. There's a petrol 1.2 and there's also diesel 1.5. And of course, we're driving the diesel version of the car today. And the diesel makes about 99 bhp of power, which is at par with its other rivals like the Ford EcoSport as well as the Hyundai Venue. Now, in terms of overall power delivery, it's a good engine, and this car has a very strong mid-range from around 1600, 1700 RPM all the way up to about 3500 RPM. The power delivery is quite good. There's a little bit of lag initially, but that's quite okay because all other rivals also have that lag initially. But the refinement levels have been improved quite a bit from the last version of the car. You can feel that as soon as you start driving it off. But yes, in terms of overall rivalry with its other segment compatriots like the Venue and the EcoSport, it is still slightly behind in terms of outright refinement. When you rev this engine hard, you're on the highway, you're doing speeds of about 90-100 kph, you can hear the diesel engine clatter coming in, and that is something which Hyundai and Ford are better at in terms of refinement. But the fuel economy of this car is very good. We've been driving it around for the last 2-3 days, and genuinely this car is delivering figures in excess of 20 kpl in the city. On the highway, I'm sure it'll deliver around 23-24 without any fuss. So for people who say that refinement levels are down, well, I think you can forgive the refinement once you see the fuel economy levels of this car, and generally these are very good figures for its segment as well as its size. Now, why this car also impresses is in overall ride comfort. Ride comfort is quite good for such a compact car. Yes, some of those badly patched up roads and some of those sharp crevices can and will enter the cabin, and sometimes they will jolt you, but it's never uncomfortable. And on the highway also, the overall stability is quite good, and it's more than sufficient and at par with its other rivals. What you will of course like about this car is the excellent visibility all across, because visibility levels are really very good. You get these quarter glass windows over here at the sides, which you can easily look around, and you also get big and chunky rear view mirrors, and you also get a huge glass area at the back, which means that you can easily look from this mirror and see the back of the car. So overall, in terms of the visibility also, it's a good car. In terms of ride comfort, it's quite decent, and in terms of drivability also, it is quite good. In terms of steering wheel response, well, I like the steering wheel of this car. It's neither too heavy that you start feeling tired at the end of a long day, neither is it too light that you start feeling nervous on the highway. So it's got the right amount of mix, and it's also pretty responsive and very accurate for most of the part. And grip levels from the tires also are very good. If you take it up the hills and push it into corners, you will be rewarded with a smile on your face. So it's a good car in that respect as well. Yes, so overall the Honda WRV is a decent package all around in the driving department. I'll give it a good score of 88 out of 100. Yes, if the refinement level was slightly better on this car, then I would give it a bigger score and a stronger score, but 88 also isn't bad, and it does deliver on most things that buyers want. Of course, buyers in the compact crossover segment don't want a car which they take on the racetrack every day, and in that sense the WRV is a good, strong all-round. Well, so overall the WRV sometimes flies under the radar of a lot of buyers in the crossover segment, because it doesn't have that same kind of flashy looks on the outside like some of its rivals. Maybe that's one reason, but other than that, it really is a very strong package, especially if in the market for a crossover which offers you loads of space in the second row seats. It offers you a big boot, and is also very well engineered and thoughtfully engineered, and is nice to drive as well, because this package really has it all in that sense. It does miss out on some features, but of course it does have that sunroof, which makes it one of the most affordable cars to offer you the sunroof in this segment. So overall, as I just said, you should definitely keep it in your shortlist in the market for a compact crossover. I'll give it a strong score of 89 out of 100. It's bye for now, and thanks for watching.